Oh, I was reading the wrong one.
Kia ora everybody, my name is Hana Mereraiha, and my role in the kaupapa of Waiata Anthems is to provide tautoko around the reo, and I'm a translator. And it's just so awesome to be able to work with amazing artists, from your emerging artists right through to more established artists. You know, in order to plant those seeds of hope and aspirations in everybody who, you know, from those who are being raised in Māori-speaking families right through to those who are taking their first steps in their real journey. This is for you all. So with me today I have Paige, speaking to Paige, who was one of the artists that I was fortunate enough to work with. Talk us through that journey and the decision that you made to actually have these two Waiata translators.
So I grew up in a Pākehā neighbourhood in South Auckland. So we were never exposed to Māori or like anything about it. But so I guess when I got asked to do Waiata Anthems, I thought it was a really good opportunity for me to be connected again with my Māori side, and remember kind of like being like, oh no, like I'm embarrassed because I'm Māori and I don't know how to speak Māori and I know nothing about Māori and all that. And I was kind of like, what if I come off as being like ignorant or anything like that? I think, to be honest, if I can do it, I think anybody can, just because I don't know, it's a really special journey to go on. Yeah, my family, they're really wanting to learn a lot more, and it kind of made the journey of learning the song so much more special, I guess. Even though it's special enough learning it by yourself, but when you've got your whānau kind of supporting you and enjoying the journey with you, it's really cool.
So, you know, it was interesting being in that space with her and actually studying her kupu. We sifted through line by line, and she gave me the backstory, the context, and we worked together in creating a piece that was truly in keeping with a Māori way of viewing the world. And so having Lord, you know, I guess offer up her platform opened up a whole new domain for the language to exist, and it's good for our reo. And so basically we need all hands on board, Māori mai, Pākehā mai, Tawiwi mai. So yeah, Georgia and I worked together on her Waiata My Love, which I had the privilege of translating into Te Reo Māori as part of the Waiata Anthems compilation.
I think the biggest thing for me is, you know, before this whole process, if someone was to have said, would you translate your song into Te Reo Māori, I probably would have said no, and not because I didn't want to or didn't have the desire, but because I feel the lack of knowledge, or the lack of knowing, you know, knowing the language and understanding, and probably have just been a little bit scared and fearful, and being Pākehā, like I don't have any Māori in me, and I think this whole process has been really important and a real growth and learning opportunity for me, in breaking down, I guess, that fear and that barrier that I've maybe held subconsciously. Yeah,
we have a saying in Te Reo Māori that says tuwhitia te hopo kia mairangatia te angitu. Mairangatia te angitu, tuwhitia te hopo. And that's just about embracing, or I suppose just facing your fears. Yeah.
I like that.
It's so important, you know, for the survival of our language, and as a bicultural nation, and now multicultural. We have so many, you know, iwi, ina honei ki Aotearoa nei. And it's so important, such an important part of the fabric of our nation, that te reo Māori is embraced and loved